There's been a massive pitch in the WWE for some major plans, and quite honestly, I don't know if you guys are going to actually like them, but I'm going to tell you guys why I do kind of like this idea. I think it could work out actually pretty well for the WWE if they do move forward with this. However, there are some implications, some things that are going to be needed to be done in order to win the WWE fans over. Also, we got to talk about it. Logan Paul revealing some major news about Stone Cold Steve Austin, flat out rejecting this massive pitch. And we do got to talk about The Rock because he is responding to the criticism from the Pat McAfee show. It's about to be a good one. All right, guys, let's kick things off with The Rock. I think that's the perfect place to start. The Rock is responding to criticism, and I think this is really interesting because The Rock is taking to social media, and he was responding to Dave LaGreca from Busted Open Radio. Basically, Dave LaGreca had a massive rant that's gone viral, and it was basically about The Rock's involvement or lack of involvement for WrestleMania 41, and The Rock has fired back. He says, "Hi, Dave. The business is a complete work. Always has been, always will be, every aspect of it. Every match, every interview. Please join me, Cody, Cena, Brian, and the rest of us for our creative discussion so you can expand your perspective. Until then, stop ranting. It's not healthy, my friend. Enjoy the show. P.S. Tell Bubba I have Grand Marriere and hush puppies for all of us." So it's interesting that The Rock put out this comment to Dave LaGreca. Some people are really mad about it. Some people aren't. I'm kind of in a weird situation when it comes to The Rock. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm very disappointed in The Rock's lack of involvement. I don't feel like The Rock is fully committed to the WWE. I don't know why this is such a controversial take. But The Rock sitting there saying, join us for creative. He doesn't even mention Paul Levesque. He doesn't mention Triple H, which I find to be incredibly strange. But I do feel as if this is damage control. I feel like The Rock is trying to play it off like this was always the plan. And if it was really always the plan, terrible execution, brother. Terrible execution. And the thing is, like, I have so much respect and love for The Rock. I always will. But this latest, like, PR run that he's having with the Pat McAfee show and now going onto social media, I think it just rubs me a little bit of the wrong way. I really do. I think, somebody said it best, like John Cena, we talked about this on the live show. John Cena, should have probably just turned heel at WrestleMania if that was the case. It would have been a great moment, even with The Rock there. The Rock doesn't have to be on TV after. It just seems as if this was not executed properly. And quite honestly, I think that's a very big problem. Guys, just want to remind you, 40% of the people that are watching this channel right now aren't subscribed. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you could do me a favor of clicking subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. We are making great strides. Guys, let's talk about it. Stone Cold Steve Austin has reportedly turned down $1 million to wearing the Prime suit at the WWE WrestleMania 41 event. Now, Logan Paul revealed this on the latest episode of Impulsive, and I know some people are so glad that this didn't happen, but I actually think this would have been great. WWE is all about creating moments, creating viral moments. Stone Cold Steve Austin was utilized in the capacity at WrestleMania 41, to which he literally just announced the sold out attendance. And like, that's cool, but that's not really a big moment. We heard the glass shatter. I think it would have been so much better, so much cooler if he were to deliver the stunner to somebody. Now, in this event, if Stone Cold Steve Austin wore the Prime suit, and I'm not saying this is what would have happened, but I'm saying what I would have done. I would have had Stone Cold Steve Austin dress up in the Prime suit, okay? Have him look like he's aiding Logan Paul, which I know is interesting considering that Logan Paul is the co-owner of the Prime brand. But I look at Stone Cold being involved in that situation and then delivering a stunner to Logan Paul, revealing himself, and then AJ Styles were to win. And I feel like that probably would have satisfied a lot of fans too, because if AJ Styles were to win, Logan Paul were to get stunnered, and it was Steve Austin in the Prime outfit, yeah, it would have been a viral moment. Now, some people would have thought that this was beneath Steve Austin. Some people would have thought that this is too corny for Stone Cold Steve Austin. But at the end of the day, it's all about creating those moments, and Logan Paul is universally hated by most wrestling fans. Now, I have a lot of respect for Logan Paul as a performer. I think he is very, very, very talented in the ring, on the mic. I think he's a really good WWE superstar. That seems to be a hot take for so many, but I'm not judging Logan Paul, the person that's got the controversies. I'm judging Logan Paul that's in the WWE ring. When I see him step through those ropes, I think he is talented. And for Stone Cold to come out and hit the stunner on Logan Paul, everybody would be cheering. Everybody would be going crazy. That would have been a moment that would have given Logan Paul an opportunity to have a really good sell to the stunner as well, which would have made him even look better. I just think this was a missed opportunity, and Stone Cold Steve Austin turned it down. $1 million for that viral moment would have led to some massive marketing and some massive success for Prime, which, whether you guys like it or not, Prime is everywhere. Prime is literally in all of these convenience stores, all of these, liquor stores, convenience stores, 7-Elevens, everywhere. Gas stations got them now. All the grocery chains have them. Prime is very, very big. It's not bigger than Gatorade, but I feel like in a few years it is going to get relatively close. So it is kind of a bummer for me to see that, Stone Cold didn't do this. I think it would have been great for him in WWE. I think every single person involved would have benefited. And that brings us to our final topic, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena and Travis Scott. Some major plans are being pitched, and I do want to see it. Now, according to Corey Hayes of PW Nexus, PWN reports, he says he's been informed that there is a pitch for John Cena and Travis Scott to work a tag team match together at some point this year. Now, there is nothing concrete as of this time. Masked Jay from PWN has also come out and said that he's heard the same info, suggesting that the talks are obviously starting to pick up. A lot of people are probably going to find this controversial. I'm not going to lie. I have a very, 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 very good opinion on this. I think it's a good opinion because it's my opinion. But Travis Scott is somebody who is trained to become a professional wrestler. He is doing training. This is a guy who's literally talking about doing this full time. He's being very adamant about being involved in the WWE full time. Travis Scott is really enjoying the WWE. I understand that what Travis Scott did at WrestleMania pissed off a lot of people, but if Travis Scott is really learning how to wrestle, he's like really learning how to wrestle and he's getting good at it, this could be another Bad Bunny situation, right? And you know that deep down inside WWE, if it's Cody and Roman versus John Cena and Travis Scott, or Cody and Orton versus John Cena and Travis Scott, they're all going to choreograph this match together. They're going to plan it out effectively. They're going to be smart about it. And I think the right thing to do is actually have this happen at SummerSlam. We know that Cardi B is hosting SummerSlam. WWE is in the mix with all these celebrities. TKO is trying to grow the brand mainstream. SummerSlam is the second biggest event of the year behind WrestleMania. You put John Cena and Travis Scott in that match against Orton and Cena, or Orton and Cody. I just think there's going to be a lot of people who will enjoy it if Travis Scott performs well. If Travis Scott does not perform well, I don't know at that point what to expect. But obviously that is the risk. Travis has to be a good professional wrestler here, especially if it's going to be a main event match. But I actually don't hate the idea of it. Travis Scott actually shows up to the storyline with John Cena. The Rock doesn't. So I can't really get too mad about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching The Ango Show.